Meanwhile, with less than 2 months to go until the presidential election, both Democrats and Republicans have expressed fears that the results could actually be rigged. With more on that, here's Caleb Moppin.
We're used to U.S. leaders condemning the way elections are conducted around the world and saying that the results are unfair. Whenever somebody Washington doesn't like gets elected, they are the first to cry foul and demand a recount.
We've just witnessed a flawed Duma election in Russia.
The elections are constantly manipulated by the government of Maduro. There is no freedom of the press.
It's hard to see how parliamentary elections right now in Syria can be considered credible or fair or even free.
But in an odd twist of fate, we now hear voices in the United States questioning elections right here at home. Donald Trump was the first to speak up about just how fair the presidential vote will be this November.
And I'm afraid the election's going to be rigged, I have to be honest.
I think we're going to win this election, but if it's rigged, like anything else, look, it was rigged, I thought, a little bit for me, and we won in landslides. I think it was rigged against Bernie Sanders with his superdelegates nonsense.
Trump's fears were met with laughter. President Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton dismissed them almost immediately.
Of course the elections will not be rigged. What does that mean?
I'm not concerned about the conspiracy theories. There are so many of them, I've lost track of them.
However, not too long afterward, the Clinton camp got some conspiracy theories of their own. Clinton supporters are now saying they fear voting machines could be rigged in favor of Donald Trump. And by who? You guessed it, the Russians. Mainstream media has echoed this concern from the Clinton camp.
It's a direct intervention. I think what Mr. Putin is interested in is creating chaos.
If Russian intelligence is trying to tip the scales of this election, where else might they look?
I believe we are vulnerable in the entire electoral process.
So Trump spoke up. You'll notice his response to Hillary's fears sounds a lot like Hillary's response to his fears.
It is so far-fetched, it's so ridiculous. Honestly, I wish I had that power. I'd love to have that power. But Russia has no respect for our country, and that's why, if it is Russia, nobody even knows it's probably China.
The United States calls itself the land of the free and the home of the brave and boasts about a level of democracy and accountability. But as the vote gets closer, the two candidates both seem to disagree. They are both very loudly saying that the 2016 presidential elections in the United States might have false, fraudulent results. At the same time, however, they are both very adamant that the fears of their opponent about the same thing are just conspiracy theories and should be ignored. Caleb Moppin, RT, Washington, D.C.